The old wise man told us to walk 3 miles down this trail to a bar.
Oh, down there. Yeah. This one goes to the pub as well. We're going for a tiny little walk first, guy.
We're in the United Kingdom in Oxfordshire, and now it's raining.
My whole right arm is completely like, look at the color difference.
We think we're gonna go all the way to the bar in the rain. That's what we're gonna do. We're still looking for a fucking goat.
When I married her, she was a Greek goddess. Yeah. Now she's a goddamn Greek.
God gave you a brain and a penis and enough blood to just power one at a time.
That's right. This is incredible, I tell you. How these bulbs form and it gets bigger at the bottom. It's amazing, yeah? 52 years. Wow.
What's the secret?
The secret is understanding that you are different and everybody has different needs and requirements, and you have to compensate. You have to make allowances, not be the me. That is the secret. Can I walk you back home or something? And this is the whole point. So you learn how to, hey, no problem. This one goes to the pub as well. To another pub.
Don't put this on record.
Get out of here.
Okay, we're out here. If you're in a shit situation right now, I've got a story for you that is worth its weight in gold. Come with me. My senior year, I had to go to the Army. My parents sent me off to the military because I couldn't afford to go to college, and I was like, oh, GI Bill, let's go. So I joined this Army, and it was the worst idea of my life. And it was the 6 months. I remember having the fucking most nightmarish, hardcore day, slept 2 hours, did a bazillion push-ups, drugged through the mud, and then I look at my buddy, I'm like, bro, we got 1,000 days left on this fucking thing. Actually, no, it wasn't 1,000 days. Why did I say that? It was like 100 days. So it was miserable. And they could see that I was fucking miserable, the drill sergeants, and they loved it. They just fed off it. They just fucking woke up every day just to see how fucked they could make us. That's how excited they are. They'd be like, hey, what the fuck, Cal? What are you doing, you fucking idiot? Anyway, so they go super hard with all this shit, and it's like, ah! And the whole thing is to like scramble your brain in case a bomb explodes next to you. You're fine in those stressful situations. So the whole thing is like a war, essentially, when you go to drill boot fucking camp. Anyway, so one day I'm sitting in this fucking, it's 3 a.m, I'm freezing my balls out. I'm sitting in a fucking puddle, a deep, 3-foot deep puddle, because I had to dig this fucking trench and point with my rifle out to the bushes like this. And I had to stare at this at 3 a.m. for like 5 fucking hours. And then it's just like cold, and my battle buddy's next to me, and I'm like, fucking this sucks balls. And then the next day she could tell how fucking pissed I was about how stupid the situation and how like not even close to the end I am from getting out of this, right? And then she's like, listen, Cal, your fucking attitude isn't going to change the goddamn situation, right? The only thing that's going to make this better is if you just fucking be positive, or like your attitude being negative isn't going to make this any better, right? The only thing that's going to make your shitty situation that you have to go through is being positive. So that was the only fucking thing I learned in the Army. Pretty good lesson. So your emotions isn't going to affect the situation unless you believe in the law of attraction. Then positivity is the only way out of here. Anyway, so positive is the way to go. Hey. Oh, look, this is all come over here. Hey, buddy.
Ah, sorry, I just got like a little jittery there. So a lesson that I really, really fucking love, even though it sucks whenever it happens, is surround yourself with winners and cut the losers, unfortunately, because there are a lot of people that are low vibe that will actually drag you down, and you don't know they're dragging you down until you realize you need to just move on. That's 1. 2, there's nothing wrong with having friends that have like different income levels. I just mean their vibrations completely off. Like, they're not happy for you to succeed. Don't do that. And probably the biggest lesson, the happiest thing I've actually learned that is my favorite, is when you forgive others and love yourself and love them, everyone's fucking happier, man.
Yeah.
Just like, life is about love. Like, however you interpret that and give that to yourself and everyone else, it's about love. That's all it is. Let's do this.
That's epic.
Got it. Alright, so Pete, stop and we'll do this. So question for you.
Yeah.
Boom. Great. Alright, so there's this guy called Peter Cal. He's kind of a badass. I don't know if you've heard of him. But what do you think about him?
I think he's a fucking rock star. I think he's super cool. He's super smart. He's on top of what he's doing. He's going super, super hard. And he's a good guy to know. He's a good guy to follow. He's got a good heart. He's got good intentions, you know. Yeah, he's just on. He's a guy who loves adventure. He's a musician. He's sent here from the ether to move people, and move a lot of people, and move them in a way that inspires them to solve their problems today. For the core reason of, one, it's a challenging obstacle, and two, you're helping and impacting people in a cool way. So that's what I love about the guy. He's not perfect, but he's perfect in his own head, because his definition of perfect is just being a little better than yesterday. It's not having every fucking thing tucked in. Evolving is perfection, right? So as long as he's evolving better after the day before, then he's perfect just the way he is. He understands that he's in one of the coolest situations he's ever been in his whole life, you know, hardcore. He definitely understands how rare it is to be in this situation, and, you know, like how special it is, and how this whole moment is phenomenal. And it's not like there's somebody up there who's guiding him. He feels like there's somebody in here who's guiding them. It's like a part of him, and it's not like getting answers from somebody else. It's getting answers from yourself, your spiritual self. And these ideas I've always thought were relatively useless, because, okay, if I know all these things, what do I do with them? But oneness, which is the idea that you're all one, really has a value impact of, maybe you can control a lot of this. Maybe you can actually influence a lot more, because maybe each vibration is like an arm of you, and you're a piece of this, and you have say onto what is sent to you. So in that case, the idea is hugely valuable, because it's like having a magic lamp that you can rub it for whatever wish you want to come true, and you create your own reality, and the universe helps you and blesses you, and it's like a cheat code. He doesn't care if it's true or not. He's all about it. That's it.
Like complete bliss. Like, how do I put this? It feels almost exactly like my brain can quiet down for the first time. I can hear nature. I don't have the sounds of noise, street cars. Like, for the first time in a while, I feel like I can actually relax my head. And it's so fucking peaceful. Like, genuinely, it feels so good. And I'm not even on the come up yet. Like, this is the funny thing. Like, nothing has hit me yet. How do you feel?
Go tell me, what is one of the best ways that you have found to make yourself laugh when you're feeling sad?
Okay, laughing when I'm feeling sad. Looking at my situation, I mean, usually it's my own situation that I think is one of the best ways. You know, like, so what if when I had my catastrophic crypto crash,
Right?
it's just looking at this and being like, oh my God, you know, like making fun of yourself in a sense. That works. I think you have to have some level of belief in yourself to be able to do that, because then you just know this is just part of your story and you're going to evolve out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when you're down, that's one of the best ways, just laughing at your own situation. Look at this thing I got myself into. This is ridiculous.
I mean, did you ever think you'd ever get to that position before, and then bam, it's there?
I mean, before I had my first win, I remember many moments where I had to, like, you know, I had to really convince myself that something is going to come out of this, because, you know, when you've been broke your whole life, there's no other difference about it. I remember I had a moment after I failed my, I think, 7th business, where I was like, you know, either this is a serious I'm going to quit moment. And it was very much, I was feeling horrific. I just got absolutely destroyed, lost everything, got my car repoed. And then I realized, if I'm going to fucking suffer, if I'm going to be a broke entrepreneur for the rest of my life, then so be it. But I'm not quitting. Okay, so the old man fucking sent us here.
He lied to us.
He lied to us. It's very beautiful. Thanks, old guy. Hey,
I've had a great time.
Anyway, and that's it. This is the view.
It's beautiful, let's be honest.
Old man. So what do we do now? I guess we still got to go find the ghosts. That's the last thing we have to do.
And then head back.
And then we're
Let's
gonna
go
head
do that.
back.
Yeah, but like having a good core group of dudes that you can just like hang out and like drop in with whenever you want. Have more guy friends that yes, you can talk business shit with.
Yeah.
But then you can do like shit like get fucked up on mushrooms and get high and go for like a really long walk where like
Yeah.
two old dudes basically just tricked you into trying to find the bar. Who just and that sounds weird as fuck on its own, but like
He seems like a nice guy.
he's hilarious. I mean, he's like this shit's really fucking green. So
We're still looking for a fucking goat.
we're looking for another guy. I saw a jaguar in my head. I had it growl and I freaked out.
But we just sent messages to our 40-year-old, or to,
Well,
no, it's a time machine. What do you call this? A time machine?
Yeah, so we basically sent us like
A
it was
time
message-
capsule, that's what
time
it is.
Capsule,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I sent a message back to myself to now from 8 years in
Yeah.
the future, which is kind of cool. That's just fucking grass. Look at it. It's fucked up. I am so fucked right now. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Ow, that fucking hurt.
All right. Imagine as if you're 40 years old and you're talking to your 30-year-old self.
Well, 30 yourself, like, hey man, this is how it all happened.
What the fuck happened?
It's kind of crazy because like things went a bit because it was like the time when I met you, like Peter, and things just kind of like went from oh yeah, this is steadily going up to like holy shit, just like through the roof. Except for it didn't come back down the same way, as in like yeah, there were drops, like sudden drops, like finding yourself in debt,
Yeah.
like drops.
Yeah.
But having the confidence to be like, that's only 50 grand, I'll be fine. Like, I've been hit before. And then just bouncing back up the next, like, 3 months later with, like, I don't know, 5 million in the account. You're like, haha, fuck all you guys. Told you I can do this. And the insane thing is, like, dude, I published, like, 11 books in the space of 4 years. Like, in this 10-year period. It's just, like, insane because, like, it started off with The Alchemy of Persuasion. The Alchemy of Persuasion was like the kickstarter of everything in my book writing career because like that thing became so viable for like so many different industries and dating and life and everything that people were doing that it then launched all the other books. Like I had the book for my dad, you know, which was like for dad, which is basically the line of love, which is a fucking phenomenal book. And then I wrote the book for Emma, which was like we changed the end, like the fiction book. And then finally, just like, you know, like the insane thing, like it really just kept going, but it's just a dumb idea that I had one day. And next thing you know, it's just gone through the roof. And again, like it wasn't long after that you actually ended up, like we ended up finding out, like finding my wife, which was really, really cool. Like we ended up getting married. Turns out she actually owned her own business as well. And next thing you know, just like the next 5 or 6 years of your life just became a huge adventure. You eventually got married. You have 2 kids. But what's really cool about it is we travel the world, like, fucking bullet trains exist everywhere, dude. Like, just think about this. Bullet trains across entire nations fucking exist. Like, literally, you've made, like, over, like, $40 million quite specifically over that time period. That we looked at our accounts, so that's how much you made, which is fucking phenomenal.
Fucking
like
rich.
Like, minted. And the crazy thing is, like, we give away quite a lot of that. A lot of people don't know this. Every single moment that you have, remember who the people that you were in closeness. You're already going back to your religion at this point, but, like, when you get back to that, you're going to find this person. She's also going to become Muslim, so that's completely fine. You don't ever ask her to. She just kind of does it out of her own accord, but you're just very strong in your own beliefs. And you have a phenomenal friendship circle, man. Like, people in your life that have been there, like, there were people that were at your wedding that they didn't think they would ever hear from you again, but you invited them because you were like, nah, they're like fucking awesome humans. Why wouldn't I want them there to be at the present day of my happiest day? Because I want them to be there with me, to like celebrate all the like the victories, the successes, the happiness, and everything else. And just keep going, keep loving. Mum's still alive, so she didn't die. She's not dead. She's alive. And when she goes, she's gonna go happy, because you looked after her, you achieved your goals, you looked after her, and most importantly, you made her proud. You made them both proud. And like, that's all I can say, kiddos. Like, you literally made them proud. And please stop being so hard on yourself when you're going through some shit. It's okay to be smart, because what you do is you'd never think that you're smart. You're just kind of like, you're always, hey, tell me more. I want to know more about you. Yeah, I've got this insane backstory of how I can help you, and I have all this thought process. But the reality is I want to know about you because you're fucking fascinating. So never stop finding people fascinating. And that will lead you to some of your biggest breakthroughs. Like, you're going to do some epic shit, dude. Have fun. See you later.
Hey, Adil, what happened?
It rained, like, a lot. Like, my whole right arm is completely, like, look at the color difference.
Anyway.
Like, one side is wet and the other one's dry.
But I'm still looking for a goat. I've got to find this goat.
We gotta find this fucking goat.
We're looking for a goat, but the old man sent us the wrong fucking way.
It's content! It's fucking grass.
What is it?
It's fucking grass. So,
Why do you have
grief books.
Why do you have grief books on your desk? Why do you have a grief therapist? What happened?
Okay, so like never been really good with dealing with grief. Most of my life I actually just kind of like powered through it. Like I understand people are dead. Like Islamically there's a whole thing about how we understand death is just the next level. It's the next stage. Like the soul is going to die, like the body is going to die, the soul will leave and you're going to go to the next place. And that's okay. Like I'm actually at peace with that. But the reason I'm a grief therapist is because like April 2020 I lost one of my best friends. Another one of my best friends. From like when I was 12, like Craig. This dude was solely responsible for me being able to be funny. Like, it kind of goes back to the whole concept of having guy friends. He was the first person that gave me permission to be like, dude, you're funny, make that voice again, it's hilarious. And I went from being self-conscious to like, oh fuck, I can make people laugh, that's friendship. And he meant a lot to me because he was awkward and shy like I was, and he was a fucking genius. He was like so incredibly intelligent. But he was just funny, he was just a great dude. And he passed, and my granddad died. My mum's dad. And it was during the pandemic, so I couldn't go home to see my mum. And my mum wasn't doing really well. And then like a couple of months later, all's good and well, whatever happens. Then my parents got into a fight, and then like I kind of had to mediate that shit again. I was like, oh, they're okay. I did DMT, which is awesome. So like this is all like high points and low points, but like the reason I'm a grief therapist on all this is like I was really angry at my dad. I was like, how dare you, after again, I'm 32 fucking years old, dude. Like, get your shit together. Either divorce my mom and like be happy, or don't. Yeah. Like, just leave me out of this.
Yeah.
I know you want to leave me out of this, but you keep dragging me into it all the time. And then he died. Like, I was so angry at him, and then he died. And it fucked with me for ages. It still fucks with me to some degree, but like also at the same time, I know how proud my dad was of me. Like, I'm finding out this way after he died, like how many people told us, like, do you know who my kid is? My kid's this fucking awesome guy. It's like, go look at him, look at his YouTube channel, like find him online, like go speak to him, tell him that you spoke to his dad and he'll like give you a hug. Yeah. It's like my dad kept telling everyone how happy he was of who I was, and this entire time I thought he was ashamed of me. But he was just so happy for who I was, and like losing him, I feel like I'm walking into like literally the visualization I have is Simba's, like Mufasa's paw print, and I'm little tiny Simba trying to put my little hand in that paw print going, I can be that too. I'm like, this is a fucking huge paw print to fill. Because the dude was like, you think my stories are legendary? His stories are legendary. Like, this dude was a legend. I lost my dad by 3:45. And at 4:15, a client asked me for 12.5 grand back that I didn't have. Because I told him I needed a week because my dad just died. And that fucking broke me. And so I buried my dad on the 18th. So like, it's actually today. We buried him 18 months today. On January 18th, 2021. And it just wasn't good. Like, it was lovely, like, to the service, the way we did. I said my goodbyes, I made my peace with my old man, like, I buried him in the earth with my own hands, so I know exactly that he was gone, so that was cathartic. But then I had to start caring for my mum. I didn't have any time to rest, because I had to look after my mum for the next 4 months, had to take care of all the family affairs, pay every bill, make sure everything was taken care of, all while dealing with client shit. And then, like, I had a huge falling out with my sister, so, like, we no longer speak. My half-sister, should I say. And then my uncle died in August. Like after I took 10 days off from work, I'm gonna go focus on dad stuff now. Day 9, my uncle dies. Then I decided I'm gonna stop doing all drugs on my 32nd birthday. Like September 1st, it's like October 1, nothing, I'm clean.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause my birthday's September 30th. And then like, that worked for like 2 weeks while I was broke as like shit, trying to like figure my life out, because like I had to just keep finding a way to survive.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't stop. There was no reason, like there was no resting stop. It was like you keep going. Kind of love the fact that I have that mental toughness. I'm not gonna lie, like that's something I'm really, really grateful that I have that. I have that tenacity to keep going. Like, I won't quit.
Yeah.
What hit me next, what came next, I was not ready for. And this is what I mean, like, really fucking well. I was like, I am throwing my hands up in the air now. So I did something called a hot day to try and generate leads and clients. I said, guys, I'm opening my schedule. Fucking everyone go. Like, tell me what your business is. I'm going to solve it, because I know if I put good out, great's going to come back.
Yeah.
2 hours after filling my full fucking calendar for 3 days, it's my friend David, who's like a brother to me. His wedding, only 10 people showed up, and I was one of the 10. Because they invited only 10.
Yeah.
Lena, his wife, who was like a sister to me, had died. Died of cancer.
His wife died?
Just like a sister to me.
For a wedding?
No, like they'd already been married for years.
Okay.
But they'd been married for 3 years, and they'd been together for a lot longer, and she died. Of course, that broke him, and fucking broke me. And then, like, 2 weeks later, now we're in November, I find out one of my friends in America was a tertiary friend, like, she died of, like, cancer, and it was, like, because I tried to make sure that she could survive, try and get the help that she needed, but she died, so it felt like it failed. Even though I don't really blame myself, because we weren't super close, but, like, a part of me feel like I owed her that. And then what came next, was, like, just the real kicker that I was not ready for. So my friend Sarah, I was having a great fucking day. I was going out for a run. I got a phone call from my friend Jackie. I was like, hey, what's up? She's like, do you remember Sarah? I was like, yeah. It's like, she got murdered by her ex-boyfriend. I was like, fuck. I only spoke to her 3 months ago.
Murdered?
Murdered. Like, in England. But then what happened next, I wasn't ready for. Because I was leading up for, like, December 1, I'm taking the month off to deal with all this death. Because there's just, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
It's like they were saving the best of last, right? The grand finale. I got a phone call with my friend David, and I tell him, like, how I'm looking forward to taking time off, and I recount how all this just hit me like a fucking shit can, and I'm like, you know what, I've taken enough on the chin. I'm still smiling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm standing, but I'm fucking punch drunk here, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm punch drunk and standing, and I'm waiting for that bell to go so I can go rest.
Yeah.
The bell went, because I knew it was like a couple of days before I need to leave. Life decided to throw a punch after the bell went. I went downstairs, I went to pee, took my phone out, checked Facebook, scrolled in. My friend's name is M. Kwan on Facebook, and he's a huge YouTuber in, like, UAE. His younger brother and I have been friends since we were 3 and 4 years old. Literally, I've known him for 20 years. He'd fallen some tough times. We said that we were going to hang out, you know, talk about life, get him back on path, just see what we can do to help, because he's always had potential. He died. My friend, 28 years, had fucking died that day. It broke me. And again, I bundled it up, shouldered the pain, carried it to the finish line, get it to the end. And that's why I like so many different therapists and journals and shits, because I'm like, if I don't deal with that now, no matter how painful it is, if I don't deal with it now, yeah, I'll have a meteoric rise. I will become as great as, like, say, a Kanye West's, like, greatness is to whatever, like, my reality to that level
Absolutely.
is. Like, that meteoric rise, that spike up the mountains coming.
Meteoric growth.
But do I really want to have that meteoric growth with this still lugging me down? Because guess what? When I get to the top, that fucker's gonna be loud.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a megaphone because he can afford a megaphone.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna be easy. So, like, I'm like, make peace with that little bastard right now. So when you fly that flight, you'll be fine.
How do you know when the wound is healed?
There's several wounds. The wounds that are deepest, like the grief, is coming to terms with what they are and being like, those are scars on my body that I'll carry with love now, not with pain.
Yeah.
And they're not open anymore. But it's okay to do that. It's okay to go with that. And that's how I'll just know.
Any final words?
Or as always, just keep loving, keep going. What would I say to people that still have dads? Try and understand them. Because I could only forgive my dad after I figured out what he'd been through in his own life and humanize him and go, fuck me, you had a, like, I remember sending a message to my dad and being like, I want to say thank you, because despite the fucked up life that you led, you managed to love harder than anyone else that I know. And I was proud that he was my dad, despite how fucked up he was still my dad. So if you still have a dad, try and understand their background, understand where they're coming from, and tell them you fucking love them. Because at the end of the day, that's all they want to know. They want to know that they were a good dad. And that's all they really want. They want to be told that I was a good dad. So yeah, just do that. So what happened?
We found the ghost motherfucker. They're right here.
I want running distance, guy.
Pants are fucking up just in case. Look at my pants. Look at me.
So shiny.
I got so wet, but I didn't get more wet. That's how wet we are out here.
So after we found the goat,
Okay.
again,
Yes.
like the red and blue man are still like walking.
And now we're gonna go talk to the old man.
Now we're gonna get to the old man. And be like, my phone is at their house, and that's how they know Peter and I is like through me.
Yeah.
They have no contact with us except for like we have their phone number.
And we're coming back tripping balls on shrooms. Wet as fuck. Like, where's the bar, asshole?
Didn't you get there?
Down to the top.
We went down there to pick you up.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
We were eating the bridge.
We got to the bridge.
The big bridge. Or the car bridge.
Oh.
We didn't go over
No,
the
we
bridge.
didn't go.
Car bridge.
Yeah, you didn't tell us anything about a bridge.
So like what?
We went past the bridge.
No, not a little bridge.
We went through like the little bridge. Then we went.
No, you gotta go further.
So
No, we hit a gate. It was the end of it.
gate with like what you needed a member's pass to walk through.
Bye.
Bye, love. Bye. Bye.
242 pages into "I Can Make You Rich" by Paul McKenna. If you've been struggling to keep your finances high all the time, it's not your fault. It's the fault of your programming. You can rewire your subconscious mind with few psycho techniques that Paul McKenna can do. Comes with a hypnosis CD. Anyway, I'm doing it. Maybe try it too. That's where we're at right now. See ya.
Wow, it's packed all the way through.
What do you think's the biggest mistake somebody could make in life?
Biggest mistake is thinking they're smarter than they are.
Taking themselves too seriously.
Thinking they're smarter than they are, because that's the biggest problem.
Yes.
How do you fix that?
And none of us are smart. That is where you start.
Even the smartest of it.
Even the smartest.
But there's a very clear indication here, isn't there? We have one mouth but 2 ears. Let's spend a little more time listening and not blabbing.
Yeah, you know. Ah.
Wisdom.
And I found, Michael, I have a problem with that.
You found me. Where did I get lost?
Because I listen while I talk.
Yeah.
Multitask.
Hey,
My God.
I invented it.
I'm so good.
Yeah.
I made it.
I invented it.
David, you know the old maxim, I used to be behind before, but now I'm first at last? That's it. The position of an aeroplane in an envelope of air is called its attitude. It may be climbing, it may be diving, it may be banking. And the message for you in life, for me, is it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. Yeah, so doesn't matter how bloody clever you are, but how you approach it is how high you'll climb.